Friday evening. The sun is about to set, and I want to talk about something controversial. It's the controversy of hierarchy, organic order versus political order. As much as we don't like hierarchy, it is quite important because hierarchy implies structure, and if there is no structure, no work gets done. As far as I've been thinking, we can classify two types of hierarchy into two groups. One is organic hierarchy and the other one is political hierarchy. Organic hierarchy is something that happens, as the name suggests, organically. The natural rise of a leader, the organic rise of a leader, and the ruler of the fittest. But with time, as humans do, civilizations take strange turns, and the existing power structure try to enforce what we call a political hierarchy. A political hierarchy is when the dominant group enforces its beliefs on other groups, especially the weaker ones. And what is relevant in a country like Nepal, where there are many ethnicities, is there were many ethnicities had their own hierarchies, but then again the dominant hierarchy enforced its own political hierarchy. I'm sure if you're aware of the sciences, social sciences, you're aware of this. In the state building process, the dominating group subjugated other groups, and in the process established a political order on its own, on their own thinking. Now, hierarchy is controversial because, as much as it is necessary, it is also very difficult for people to feel, especially those in the lower rungs of the structure, to feel less than. So the daunting task for social sciences is to come up with a system that works, not the rigid, archaic, hierarchical structure of the past that makes no sense, nor something that is dysfunctional, So, and then what is happening? What's up with the society in places like Nepal? I think I have some observations to talk about. Some of them are: it is very difficult to know one's limits. You see, it is nature of mankind to compare one with another, and it is very difficult to find one's place in the society, one's original place in the society, because none of us want to be subjugated, or nobody wants to be answerable to anyone, or such is the case of us humans now. But I've been thinking, as much as I enjoy, freedom, and I think there is such a thing as freedom within limits, and being able to be answerable to your elders. And another example of social hierarchy or organic hierarchy is that the hierarchy that happens on its own. For example, the son is answerable to his father because he's been in the world before him, and there are other hierarchical mechanisms, like the strongest, the fittest being able to gather the most resources, and thus hierarchy is formed again. So these are things that happen naturally. But as I distinguished earlier, there is such a thing called political hierarchy, where the ruling elites try their best to stay on top of things, unless and until it gets so absurd that it ultimately collapses. So the two things that is extremely important to mankind and to society at the moment is, first, humility. Humility is knowing one's true worth. And unfortunately, that isn't much. Secondly, you have to know where you authentically stand in the structure. You know, if I'm 25 years old and I want to aim for the top position in the company, now that is actually delusional. And secondly, knowing one's limits in the world. You see, one is knowing one's place in the world, and the other most important thing is knowing one's limits. I can't go about doing anything I want, especially if I have the ability to exert power on people. You see, the age-old definition of power, or the definition of power that I memorized growing up, was the ability to impose one's will on others. But power has, that itself is quite a stern definition, but the nature of power as such today has degraded even further. Power today is more on the lines of I can do whatever I please if I can. So you see, there's a subtle distinction over there. And also knowing one's limits. Just because one can do anything doesn't mean that one has to. For those of you that are interested, Marcus Aurelius' Meditations is an excellent journal, the accidentally found journal. So that's about it for today. You know, I just wanted to make a short video and talk about power, hierarchy, the limitations that are seen in the society, and the importance of humility. So happy Friday, and let me know if you want me to expand on anything further. That's it for today. Happy Friday once again.